What is happening? CJ Gibson along with you. Our E3 2018 coverage continues, and Deej, David Dagg from Bungie's community team. Welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here.
So right off the bat, why? Who do I blame? You killed Cade.
I did not kill Cade. You can't blame me. The Scorn killed Cade. There's a brand new enemy in Destiny 2 Forsaken. They are dangerous enough, they are devious enough to kill your hero, your mentor. How does that make you feel?
It hurts.
Use that.
It hurts.
All right, use that.
I mean, I know that you guys nerf hunters always, but this is the ultimate nerf, Deej. I mean, you're a Warlock main, so I mean, I feel like you had something to do with this.
No, I have no input in the story design. We got a great team who does that. But in Destiny 2 Forsaken, you meet a brand new enemy. And this is going to set you on the hunt. You're going to start your own steps down that path to revenge. And you're going to go avenge Cade and bring justice for Cade.
And even with his own weapon.
Even with his own weapon, yep.
We're looking at it right here now.
Prince Uldren claims the Ace of Spades for himself, holsters the icon and claims it for his own. And this sets the stage for a great new story that we're telling. A story of high stakes, a story of permanent consequences. You get to step into that role, and you get to become the dealer.
Now, right here looking at this looks very Vex-themed almost, the portal and walking away.
We're looking at the Prison of Elders in the Reef. So we are going back to the Awoken Domain. We get to go to that lawless frontier. We get to see what has happened to that environment after the events of the Taken King. Their leadership has been supplanted. They're in disarray. The prison has been shattered, releasing a whole bunch of really bad guys. And
now,
you're going to go and round them up.
I saw that. Now, they did talk about how this was going to be a much grittier version and getting right into it. So talk to me about what it was like creating, a character that everybody loves and making him potentially, because we're not 100% sure, there's a bunch of theories, is Cade gone and dead forever?
Cade's dead. And that creates the impetus for you as the hero to operate beyond the safety and the authority of the city. You step out on your own path to revenge. You're doing, maybe for the first time in Destiny, the wrong things for the right reason. Existing kind of like Prince Uldren in that space between the light and the dark. So we're telling a darker tale. We're telling a grittier story with high stakes. And as you can see on your screen right now, beyond the story, we also have Gambit. We have a brand new activity. Beyond the cinematic campaign, beyond the cutscenes and the stories, we have this great new mode. We've taken all the things that make Destiny awesome and fun to play, and we've collided them together into this brand new explosive activity. Whole new way to play Destiny. So it's PvE and PvP. Competitive co-op is the concept that we've been playing with in our studio, having a lot of fun in playtest, having a lot of fun introducing it to people behind the scenes. You played it.
I had a lot of fun. I was going to say, it is one of those things, I'm calling it potentially the next game mode that will take Destiny further since Trials. Trials is a very big evolution from a standpoint of a game mode.
Sure.
And the amount of time I had a chance to play, it was only a match or two.
Yep.
There's a little bit of adjustment at the beginning. I love that moment where you're figuring things out. There's a couple new supers, there's new abilities.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening. This guy's coming over and smashing you. You're like, where did he come from? There's some really cool moments up front, and I think people are really, really going to like this mode.
Yeah, we have 9 new supers in Destiny 2 Forsaken. We have 3 of them to play with here at E3. And when you reference Trials of Osiris, that's a Crucible mode. This is a whole separate activity. We are beyond the Crucible here. And we're bringing people together who love fighting aliens. We're bringing people together who love engaging other Guardians. And we're putting them on 2 teams of 4. And those teams are in a race to see who can be the first to burn down their enemy, to summon that primeval and to dispatch it. At the same time, you can disrupt the other team. You can send blockers to invade their space, or you can become the boss yourself, like we're seeing here. You can jump through a portal, engage them in their own arena, and that's where we see the combination of the player versus environment and the player versus player elements that are really making Gambit a lot of fun for people.
They are definitely infused very well together, I will say. Once you learn the mechanics of it, I can definitely see, collide, bank, invade. You will definitely have roles for all these different types of gameplay. And I think me personally, maybe it's just because as a hunter, I want to invoke pain on other Guardians. I was trying to get in that portal a few times, and when I did, and I had that that 30 seconds over there,
Sure.
that was one of the coolest
Yeah, I
feelings
think
I've had in
the
Destiny in a long
smartest
time.
teams are going to have roles for people to play in combat. You're going to have your designated invader. You're going to have somebody working crowd control.
Yep.
You're going to have the people who have their guardians configured for maximum power so that they can get rid of those bosses when they get sent over by the other team as fast as possible. Get that bank back operational again so you can put those moats in there and advance your team's progress towards the winning condition.
Now, having said that, as I was going in, I did notice a lot of big changes. They talked about 3 powers in the Vidoc, or 3 shotguns.
Yeah.
And just setting the record straight, it is called Vidoc.
Vidoc, absolutely.
No Vidoc.
Yes,
none of this Vidoc.
Video information documentation. It's one of the great things that we do at Bungie to give our developers a voice, to document our creative process, and to help our community understand what our goals are when we create these experiences for them. But yeah, in the Vidoc, we talked a lot about the fact that Destiny 2 Forsaken is not just a new story that we're telling or a new activity that we're unveiling. It begins an entire new year of gameplay. It begins a different way to configure your Guardians. You've got a lot more freedom in the way that you choose your arsenal. You've got a lot more freedom to use the weapons that you love the most. So obviously an auto rifle is a great solution to combat, as we can see here. And there are new weapons in year 2. But if you like your favorite shotgun or your favorite sniper rifle, or I love the grenade launchers, you're going to see those things making an appearance in combat more often. And you're going to have a lot more choice in terms of how you equip those things and when you get to use those things. So this is something our communities talk to us a lot about on forums or in person or even in our own studio when they're invited to come and collaborate with the developers. And you're going to see a lot of evidence of that collaboration and that creative process in the second year of Destiny.
And looking at some of the new supers, I noticed that I ended up playing a Titan, unfortunately.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. I couldn't jump in for the Hunter. So I'm excited to go and do the Hunter after. Just highlight some of the new supers that you're seeing here.
Yes, we have 3 new supers here at E3. So as the Titan, you're going to become that invisible specter of death. You're going to have your knife attacks. You're going to be able to see through walls. You'll love it. You'll love it. You're going to be sneaky, stealthy, highly lethal. My Warlock has a sword that I can plant in the ground. It has an introductory damage-dealing effect, but then I open this team rift so I can be the support player. I can invite everybody to gather around me, get healed up, become more powerful. And the Titan, as you experienced during your brief tour through Titan Glory, just becomes, that human rocket, or Exo or Awoken, but you become that person rocket that can guide themselves through the air like a thinking, breathing munition.
That is exactly what happened to me in the moment when I casted it. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and then I was flying along, and I was like, this is cool. There's a bunch of other different things that you guys obviously wanted to address the community, and you had the summit a little while ago.
Yeah.
What was it like having those people, and did you get a lot of good positive feedback?
Our community is always highly honest about what they want and what they like and where they want to see us take the game. It was a good blend of different types of people from our community. People who host their own Twitch streams who can represent their audience. People who make their own YouTube videos who have highly insightful opinions about the game. But also people from our forums, people that we know from real life, people who we know have very specific opinions and a very highly analytical mind. So it was an entire blend of different personalities and different types of players from our community. This is something that we do on a daily basis. Our 2 community managers own those forums, and they're constantly looking at what every type of player of our game is talking about. So it's not just a matter of talking to one person and developing the game for them. We try to understand as best we can the thousands of different people that talk to us on the internet and the millions of different players that are logging their own data for the guns they use or the activities that they enjoy, how you configure your Guardian, how you spend your time in the game. It all teaches us why people love Destiny. It can lead to inspirations like Gambit, where we take a lot of those things that people love differently about Destiny and bring them all together at the same time, or can inform the way we create new supers or the way we change the way the sandbox works. It's an ongoing iterative process at Bungie, and it's a relationship with our players that we thrive on.
So now we're winding down, just have a few minutes left. Talk to me, there's some people maybe who felt they lapsed from D1 a little bit, or maybe were wanting to get back into Destiny 2.
Sure.
How are they going to get back into Destiny 2, and how are you guys offering this new expansion, The Forsaken?
Well, this will be an invitation for any player to jump back into the world of Destiny for the reasons that they love the most. If you love a great story, we're telling one that starts off with a bang, as you can attest.
It does.
If you love raids, we've got a new one. If you love cooperative activities, there's Strikes, there's Gambit. Obviously, the Crucible is going to be an entirely new environment with these new weapon systems. If you play Destiny for a very specific reason, it's there in Destiny 2 Forsaken. And if you just like everything about Destiny, we've got more of all of it.
Nice. Well, I will say that we actually maybe predicted this a little bit. In one of our Fire Team Chat episodes, episode 161, we said, now if Cade dies, that would choke me up. That would be a big deal. I'm not saying I don't want him, I want him to stay dead. But I mean, if he comes back, there might be a little bit of backlash here. Are you worried about, how is he potentially going to evolve? Like, what are we going to see here going forward with this campaign?
I follow the lead of our narrative team. They tell the story that inspires them. If our players were to meet Cade 7 someday, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll tell you, it seems highly unlikely right now.
Okay.
Destiny needs to be a world where there are repercussions. And Forsaken is a story where there are consequences to violence and danger. And this new enemy is powerful enough to kill one of the most iconic characters in our game. Cade's not the type of guy that dies in a public event, so you know that you're facing something that is incredibly serious and incredibly dangerous because he's no longer part of this story.
Well, I still can't believe it, so we're excited for this to come out. September 4th is the release date. It's also playable on the show floor in the Sony and Activision booth.
That's
Gambit
right.
is being played
Gambit
there.
is playable.
So,
come on in and get some.
And just, we're winding it out, I will say this. I know it's been challenging people. I want to offer a challenge to Tocom. I want that 1v1, Deej. Can you make it work?
Crucible designer Kevin Yanis from Bungie.
Yeah.
You want to go into his house and push him around.
I want the title, Deej.
All right, well.
Can we make that happen?
You've thrown your gauntlet on the ground. I'll ask him if he wants to pick it up, and maybe we'll have Bungie versus Fire Team chat.
All right. Let's make it happen. We're going to make that happen. Anyways, that's all the time. Thank you so much, Deej. Make sure you catch Destiny out September 4th. We are here again, continuing our coverage live at E3 2018.